Hey everyone, Charl here. Um, Very special video tonight. For the very first time on camera, I'm being joined by the other half of the Felix Dei project, Chantelle. Unfortunately, technology fucked us a bit, and Teams started recording a minute or two late, but it's all good. So please forgive this rather crude segue into the actual video. Um, yeah, enjoy. I had a great time talking to Chantal. She's always very insightful, always just a lot of fun to be around, and yeah, and such a fundamental part of this project. So yeah, enjoy. For the musical project we called Felix Day. And I'm joined for the first time on camera by the lovely Chantal, very much looking the part of the goth queen, her side, while I'm bathed in blinding light. It looks like I'm at the pearly gates. As Chantal is my longtime friend, collaborator, creative partner, and of course, literally the other half of the project. Chantal, welcome.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
Now, guys, you may be asking why we are doing a video call when we not only live in the same country, but in fact in the same province. Well, it's been raining and we're old and decrepit and we're terrified of water. So just live with it. Um, so this is a very special video. We reached 1,000 subscribers. In fact, we're now on about 1,500 subscribers, which may seem minuscule. You know, we're not fucking Mr. Beast. We're not trying to be Mr. Beast for various reasons, but it's a very big landmark for us. So we're going to give you a bit of a deep dive. You're going to get Chantal's perspective as well, for which I'm very excited. So, for just to give you some background, I, being Charl, started Felix Day as a solo project towards the beginning of the year, and it was disseminated mostly through, the fusing of poetry and music. But I soon realized, that I needed someone on board that not only shared in my vision, but could also bring other talents and skill sets and a unique artistic voice to the project. And you know, onboarding Chantal was just a no-brainer for me. I mean, as I say, we've been friends for well over 20 years, actually. We seem to be the two fucking degenerates that never changed out of our circle of friends. And we certainly we have a shared um not I don't want to say shared taste. We do have shared taste, obviously. It wouldn't have made sense otherwise. But we have a lot of the same ambitions, a lot of the same values and things like that. So we're going to talk a bit to Chantal tonight. Um, I will also be doing some talking, but I really wanted to foreground this call. So I think let's start by Chantal. Describe your role within the project and be as imaginative as possible. I mean, you don't have a job spec. Didn't give you a job spec, so you can imagine something. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Well, it kind of did happen by accident, sort
Right.
of, if you think about it. Um, you've been writing poetry for a long time, and I can relate to so much of it. I've always read all the poems and thought, oh, this is pretty cool. And as we've been chatting, I remember the day you sent me the first song you ever made, and I was like, why are you hiding this? You need to post it. People need to hear this, you know?
Yeah.
And so it kind of happened by accident. And then I started playing around with making a music video for one of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it so much, relating to the words and
Yeah.
creating visuals that fit with it. I think for me, I'm a lot more on the visual side and bringing out
Sure.
the, the visual side of it, where you're more of the word and feeling side.
For sure. I think that's right. And I think it's very rare, but very special when you find that kind of partnership and that sort of connection, where I would send Chantelle a song, she would create a video for it, and I had no notes, no comments. I just instantly thought, this is it, this is exactly what I would have done had I the talent or the skills. So I think the first video you ever made for me was, I think it was Whistle Whistle.
Yes, that was the first, and it was the first video I ever made.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And it also, it turned out to be the most popular song from Lupus and Fabula. And then obviously after that, you made one for Abaka alignment, which
Yes.
I absolutely fell in love with, the occult imagery and just the general sort of zeitgeist of it. I think was incredible. Since then, we've created a couple more. We just dropped the video for Manufactured, which is also yet another banger in terms of the video.
I really enjoyed doing that one. I think.
Yeah, and it shows.
That one for me, especially living myself into the words and the song.
Yeah.
I think we all have that, we all have that happiness we create through things that are not generally healthy,
Yeah, the manufactured happiness.
Correct, yes.
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, you can see how Chantelle just sort of got what the song was about. I wrote it, just as I sort of started my journey of getting clean and sober. And I still am sober. In fact, it's 120 days today.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I think I was still struggling with these dysphoric feelings and thinking, but fuck, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not drinking, my life doesn't feel a lot better. But yeah, it's not as simple as that, I think.
No.
In the end, there's a lot of legwork to be done from a psychological and emotional perspective. It's not as simple as removing a negative stressor and all your shit just goes away. If it was that easy, well, yeah.
And it's always easy to replace it with something else.
Yeah, that is what we call cross addiction.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what you use as inspiration when you are making a video, or do you obviously you listen to the song, you feel the vibe of it. What are the things that fuel your creative fires, if I can put it that way?
I've always been someone who always hears words first. Yes, I like the music. Obviously, as you know, I prefer metal. For some reason, it calms me down.
Yeah.
But it's the words that get to me. And I think that's why I enjoy the genre so much as well, because of it's very deep. It's very relatable in terms of mental struggles.
Yeah.
Things like anger.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I want to give out. So I use that and knowledge as a graphic designer. Right. And we always got taught that you have to make sure that you give the right message.
Yes.
So using that compared with what I feel, I think I just mesh it up and show what I feel the music's about.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And now that you talk about the message, the communication scholar Marshall McLuhan had this thing where he said the medium is the message. So what we do, the music in essence as a whole, as an ecosystem, that's the message. That's the message. Yeah.
And it isn't so much about, I think, the music, it's more about the message than anything else.
The music is merely a vessel. It's a channel. The music is a channel to communicate something. whether it be a story or a feeling or, I suppose both, ideally. um, and I think that brings me to the next point. And I am jumping around a bit because, as you know, our videos aren't scripted. But what is Felix Day? I am very reticent always to call it a band because I don't think it is a band. I think it's sort of it's a movement. It's a multimedia art project. Um,
Yes,
as much as the music and the videos and the lyrics and everything work together as a machine, they also stand alone as pieces of art. I'm not sure if you'll agree with that.
definitely. I do. It is to me more of a project than,
Yes, than a band.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
it's not traditional in any sense.
no.
Um, so, um, you know, going forward, because this is obviously something that it's certainly in my case I'd like to take well into the future. So what is your vision for the project going forward? Where do you see us going? Maybe let me break that down and simplify it. What sort of album should we make next?
Well, we've kind of already talked about it.
Well,
Um, I think we should do an Afrikaans album
absolutely.
and we should shoot our own music videos, which I
Yes,
think would be amazing.
absolutely. That has to
Yes,
happen.
yes. And we can always look at other genres not far from
For
what we
sure.
do.
For sure.
Um, but I think like if you look at Whistle Whistle and the type
Yeah.
of song it is,
Yeah.
it's obviously appealing to a different
Audience.
audience than the
The more
rest of the
metal.
stuff. Yes.
Absolutely.
Where
Yeah.
Afrikaans will maybe be
Open
the
up a whole new audience.
exactly. I mean, the point here is to connect with everyone,
Correct.
everyone who might be struggling or whatever the case might be.
Correct.
So if,
And
but I wouldn't go too far. I wouldn't like make a country song now.
no, I don't think so. I mean, look, like you've shared some country music with me in the recent past. And once again, I think that country musicians, they are probably the best storytellers. It's
Yes,
probably not a genre that I would excel in, but I of course appreciate the sort of narrative that goes into it. I do.
exactly.
So
It's the
yeah,
words. It's the
it's
words.
the words, it's the story, and again, yeah, the music is almost secondary to that.
Yes. But
Um,
by appealing, I think appealing to a wider audience,
yeah,
making our own, making more content like this.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
think, yeah, the way we explain why what the songs are about, I think it's very cool. I think no one
I
else
think
does
so.
it,
Yeah,
and
probably not.
I think it connects people more to the music.
Yeah, and it gives a sort of a personal aspect to it. Um,
Absolutely.
which is important. You want to see that there's an actual human who has felt these things, who has gone through these things. I think for me personally, I think the project Felix Day was a way initially for me to make my poetry more palatable, more accessible, and more exciting. Because I'd be the first to tell you that if I had to sit and someone just read poetry to me, it would be immensely fucking boring.
Yes.
you know, it's a well-known fact that more people write poetry than read it. I don't particularly read any poetry other than my own because it tends to but with music is a very powerful vehicle because you get to add all these little instruments onto it and all these little machines, and it becomes something quite universal.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we all have that music. I was thinking like a lot when I think about music and how it
Mm,
inspires me. If I think back to when I was much younger,
yeah,
how I connected with Linkin Park.
right, right.
And it was also, my mom was like, Hal, this is depressing. I'm like, but I fucking feel depressed.
Correct. And it's that exactly that. It's feeling that
Yeah,
hey, you're not alone. This
exactly.
fucking guy screaming in a stage somewhere in, I don't know, LA, wherever they were from. I don't know. I'm sorry. He felt the same way. And I mean, the way that his life unfortunately culminated showed that he was authentic in feeling that way. It's obviously a very tragic thing that
It
happened.
is, absolutely.
Um, but yeah, maybe on that topic, what are some of your, the albums that made you as as a metalhead growing up? Which were the most seminal, influential albums? Name one or two.
Not albums, specifically
Hmm.
bands.
Okay, that's
Um,
fine. Yeah,
like I say, it started with Linkin Park.
yeah.
I went through a Slipknot phase.
Hmm.
Oh,
We all did.
yes. In Flames, I've
Oh yeah, fucking
absolutely
gotta
love
love
them.
In Flames. Yeah.
Um, yes, there's a lot. At the moment, I'm completely. I told you the other day, I have like this thing about rotting Christ lately, and I don't know
Yes.
what it
No,
is.
sure. No,
Or if it's
sure.
the
Sure.
melodic part, because I've been under so much stress lately
Yeah.
at work, and for some reason, like I sit and listen to only them with my
Yeah.
earphones on, and I can cope.
Yeah. No, look, they're a phenomenal band.
There's
They've been
something
around
about
for a
it.
while. Yes. No, they certainly they are musicians, but they're certainly also artists.
Mm.
They are very skilled at what they do.
Oh, and
Um,
O-Tape.
and OTIP, of course. Yes, I still
Forgot
have
about.
my OTIP album here. I've actually been doing a series of shorts here on YouTube on some of the the albums that made us, and I do plan to include OTIP. I did include and it's the best performing short so far. I did include Iowa by Slipknot because I do feel it was very, it was bangers beginning to end. Even though now I'm not a Slipknot fan anymore. I
Neither
don't
am I.
like
Yeah.
the yeah, I don't like the new stuff. I think that was I remember you remember Westgate Shopping Center. You still
Yes.
live sort of in that area. I remember as a teenager, I think probably about 11th grade, getting onto a fucking train to go to Westgate to buy that album.
I
Yeah.
remember it as well. Didn't it have like a mirror
Yes, it
finish?
has this, here it is. It's got like the shiny, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But good album, good fucking album, very raw, very good. What I found, there's a bit of a dichotomy in the metal community in that on the one hand, it's a very tolerant, very inclusive community, but then you also get a bit of gatekeeping. Hey, fuck, you can't listen to this. It's too popular, it's too mainstream.
Mm.
Whereas I think, especially at my age of 40, I just don't give a shit. If I want to listen to fucking Disturbed or I want to listen to Korn, okay, I won't listen to Limp Bizkit. I have to draw the line somewhere. But
Okay,
um,
the one song from Limp Bizkit I can relate with
yeah,
is what's that song's name?
is it break stuff?
Yes.
I knew it. Yeah, look, no, they've got bangers. I just think and one has to separate the art from the artist. I realize that, but geez, Fred Durst it just looks like such a dick. But maybe he's a nice guy in real life. I don't know. I can't judge. But yeah, I think this brings us then to the conclusion of our inaugural collaboration. I was aiming for about 30 minutes, and I think we did well.
Okay,
Um,
it felt shorter.
you did, and you're welcome to add as much more as you like. This is just what I had scripted.
So but we need to do more of these. I
No,
think it's
absolutely. I think
important.
we need to try and make it like a weekly thing, maybe.
Mm,
You
good
know,
idea.
yeah. I mean, I have very lacking equipment and editing skills, but I mean, maybe people would fucking appreciate it. Maybe they think, hey, it's raw, it's honest, it's not overproduced. It's like when like the Norwegian black metal of YouTube, yeah, hopefully with fewer church burnings and murders and stuff.
Well, we're in South Africa, so
Hmm.
it's kind
Yeah,
of worse.
it is worse. It is worse. But yeah, is there anything you want to say in closing before I say goodbye.
I think thank you for giving me the opportunity to
Of
be
course.
part of this project.
No, of course.
I've been longing to bring up my creative side again.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying being part of it. So
Yeah.
and thank you to everyone who subscribed and
Yes.
listened to things. Comment, let us know what you think, how you relate.
Yes. Please, if you could like, comment, subscribe. If you want to be particularly generous, ring the notification bell so you know when we bring out new shit. Of course, what would mean just the fucking most to us is go and listen to our music on Spotify, Apple Music, or right here on YouTube. We reckon it's pretty good. So go and listen to it.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, and thank you, Chantelle.
Okay.
Okay, bye.